What's up guys, Nick here for Daily Vape TV. Today is Fresh Build Fridays and I'm going to be bringing you the dual super nano coil. Today we're going to be using 28 gauge canthal wire and we're going to be wrapping around another strand of 28 gauge canthal wire. Whenever I wrap super nano coils, the flavor is just unbelievable. I really can't wait for you guys to try these yourself because they're definitely some of the better coils I've ever built. As far as the vapor, definitely a ton of vapor. You get 1 and 2 second pulls and that's all you need. And as far as the density, gives you a nice dense flavor, really brings out the crisp notes in the juice. Let's take a look at our tools and let's build her up. Alright guys, here we have our tools all set up. We have our ohm meter with our Patriot RDA on top. We have our cotton, insulated tweezers, screwdriver, pair of pliers, and some wire cutters. Today I already cut my sections of 28 gauge canthal wire in 2 different lengths. I have 2 pieces that are about 6 inches and one that's about 3 or 4. First thing you want to do is grab your first piece of 28 gauge canthal wire and another piece, probably the shorter of the 3 if you have one. And I like to clamp them down in my pair of pliers here. Try to get them as close together as possible so you get a good amount of tension. Next thing you want to do is you want to take one piece of the canthal wire and just start wrapping your coil around. This one's going to take a little bit more time and patience just to try to get your coils nice and neat. As neat as possible at least. Today we're going to be doing 8 wraps per side. Now you got to keep really good tension on your pliers here. Don't worry if your coils don't come out really pretty. We'll have to neaten them up with our tweezers once we get them on the atomizer. So now what you want to do is you want to take that first lead back a little bit and just neaten it up, straighten it up here. And this is what you should end up with. Now what I'm going to do is tighten down my negative post here. Be careful with this 28 gauge because it's very fragile. Now I'm going to wrap my other coil and install it on my atomizer. So now as you can see, I have both of my coils in place, and now I'm just going to tighten down those leads. Of course we're going to trim the excess wire off here. Again, just like my last dual coil video, you want to be very careful about those positive leads. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our tweezers and just neaten up our coils a little bit. Alright, so let's take a reading and see where she's at. 0.24. Wow, okay. So before I wick it, I'm going to just put it on my mod. And now we're just going to check if we have any hot spots. Ooh-wee! They are glowing bright. Just be careful and make sure you don't fire it for too long just in case you have a hot spot. But right now we're looking pretty good. So we're going to wick her, juice her up, and see what she vapes like. So to wick these coils, I just take a little piece of cotton, make sure you only have one layer going here, And you don't want too much, just about like that. And we're probably going to use less than that too. So then what you want to do is tuck it right underneath the coil. Just make sure you have a nice little bed of cotton right underneath your coil. Then if you have any excess, just take your thumb and forefinger and press it against the atomizer and then rip it off. So as you can see with these, you don't need to go through the coil. You just want to make a nice little cotton cloud underneath. Alright, so let's juice it up. So before we take our first rip, let's just see what kind of vapor we got going. Woo! Pretty good. Wow. Alright guys, that was the dual super nano coil build. Right now I've got the standard vape, liquid, slow-mo in here. Let's take a rip. Tons of vapor. Flavor really comes out, nice crisp flavor, and the density is amazing. That was just like a 1 second pull. Let's try a 3 second pull. Just insane the amount of vapor that comes out, and for such a tiny little coil, really produces a lot. So the flavor is amazing. I like fruity flavors myself, and this really brings out the little slight notes to it that you might not get with other coils. Nice warm vapor, so those of you that like warm vapes, this one's for you definitely. As far as the difficulty level of this coil, I'd say it's pretty moderate to high, just because it's kind of difficult to get those coils just right. I mean, these coils are pretty sloppy, to be honest, but yeah, she's still hitting really hard, so definitely try this build out for yourself. Leave a comment below to tell me which build I should try next. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Tune in next week for an all-new coil build, and as always, vape on!